Good evening, wool gatherers, and welcome to episode 153 of Wanderings and Wool Gathering. On tonight's episode, we're going to talk about Mr. Mundy's, the Metalhead one himself. Went to a concert last night. He's going to share some photos from the night. We're going to review a new song by Ministry, a new one by Corey Taylor, and a new one by Jack the Radio. They are singles from upcoming releases, so we're kind of excited. 3 bands we follow, so we like to keep up with what they are doing. And I have a fun challenge, something I'd like to do again on the show. We're going to do a little test run tonight with Mr. Mundy. I think it's a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys can play along if you are watching the video stream of this. And I think that's it. But we're sponsored by The Pressing Issue. Let them take care of your comics with expert cleaning and pressing services. Whether it's a basic dry clean and press of a wrinkled cover, stains removed, or maybe whitening a dingy cover. The Pressing Issue is the place to send your books for expert care and affordable prices. And I know because I've used them, and they do an amazing job. So make sure that you check out The Pressing Issue. If you like what you see and hear tonight, subscribe and leave a comment, and feel free to share with your friends. And without further ado, because nobody wants to watch just me, it's the ever lovable one himself, Mr. Metalhead Mundy.
Step inside into his mind. It's boy band time. It's
Metalhead Mundy.
Hey!
Hello, hello.
There he is, everybody. I told you.
Glad to be back.
Yes, indeed. Man, this shirt just keeps falling off the back of my chair. Shameless plug. Okay. Anybody wants one of these, just let us know. We will make one to order. Anyway, Mr. Mundy, welcome to Monday evening. Sunday night is our normal night, but you could not be on the show because you were doing fun stuff. Am I right?
Yeah, I had a little father-son outing. My youngest son, Fane, and he's 19 years old. So we went to Indianapolis in the Fountain Square area to a club called the Hi-Fi and saw Stabbing Westward. It's one of my absolute favorite bands, one of my favorite singers in Christopher Hall, and just a band I've been listening to for like 30 years. So
yeah, awesome. And that's your son right there on the screen.
That is me and my son Fane. He's I'm about 5'8". He's probably about, I don't know, 6'2", 6'3", somewhere around. So he definitely did not get that from my side of the family.
No, you're actually the same height. He's just standing way forward.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to flip through and you can just tell us what we're looking at.
Okay. So the opener was
this is is that the opener?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Her name, it's one girl and one woman, and her name was Aya Toya. I looked up her real name. I don't remember what it is, but she says like she's from the Chicago area, but she was born and raised in Poland, but she, now resides in the Chicago area. So she's got a little bit of an accent, but she like blew me away. I mean, it is literally just her. And she's got like kind of a laptop keyboard set up. She plays guitar on a couple songs. She's an amazing singer. And she's got some like foot pedals to, turn some effects on and off. And she has like this, you can see that video screen behind her. She's got like a projector that shows some cool imagery while she's performing.
Does she build the songs through loops?
A little bit. I mean, a lot of it's just kind of pre-programmed, but she plays some stuff live as well, and yes, she does. I think she uses the foot pedals for some of the loops and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, she uses some effects on her voice on some songs, and kind of layers her voice and does all kinds of really cool stuff. She was just outstanding. I was very impressed.
Cool.
This is okay. So these pictures are going to bounce around.
Here, let's do this.
Yeah, and I mean, this is just more of her singing. Her outfit was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she has like bright red hair. So yeah, and that was her little microphone stand there. I mean, that it looked like something that she made. It's pretty.
Is that a grenade?
Yeah, it's pretty heavy duty pipe, and that, like a metal grenade. And that actually, it's painted with I don't know, not glow in the dark, but it reacts to black light, because at one point she turned a black light on and that was glowing and stuff. So
cool.
And yeah, that's her going to town on the keys.
What does she have on her head? Those are like flashlights?
So no, that is her head is behind her microphone there.
Oh god, it looked like she had like a thing wrapped around her head. Like
she does. She has they almost look like welder's goggles. They're like super dark. And but she does have something on her head, but there she's behind her little microphone stand.
I see it now. I see it. It's just kind of small on the screen, but
yeah.
Okay, so we'll go back to this.
So yeah, Stabbing Westward was the reason we were there. Like I said, that's a band I've been listening to since the early 90s. And Christopher Hall is one of my all-time favorite singers. The emotion he is able to pull through his voice is, oh man, kills me. But that is not who we are looking at. We are looking at Mr. Walter Flackus here, who is the other half of the current iteration of Stabbing Westward. They are the two that founded the band back in the day. So they are together, and then the drummer was with them when I saw them in 2019. And
is that the only picture?
No, there was more. I sent you lots more. So that I took that to just kind of show. They had little screens set up on each side of the drummer, and they have projectors in front of each one of them. These projectors were amazing. I mean, they sit. I've never seen them. I'm sure somebody out there is familiar with them, but they literally sit. You can kind of see the one on the right-hand side there. And well, you can see the one under Christopher there too, but it's literally, it looks like a kind of a flat white box.
Mm-hmm. It
is directly under and in front of that screen, and it shoots up at an angle. So, but the image looks correct. Like it's so cool. Just some really neat technology they were using.
We have those projectors at school.
Yeah, they're super neat.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it either, where they're at a weird angle, but it somehow looks correct.
Yeah,
it's so strange.
Very cool. They were showing some pretty pictures and stuff.
So you did send me another one that I somehow didn't get on there. It's this one.
That's just Christopher singing. Yeah.
But that was the only one I didn't get. So
okay. But yeah, they were a lot of fun. Ayatoya, like I said, she just really impressed me. One cool thing she did, she started playing this song, and I'm like, this kind of sounds familiar. And then she started singing, and I was like, oh, it was It's No Good by Depeche Mode. She played that, and very cool. I think that's on YouTube. I might have sent you guys a link to that, but
you did.
Yeah, so that is on YouTube if anybody wants to check out her version of a Depeche Mode song. Very cool.
Sounds like she would fit in well with the last challenge we had, which was the opening act person you might follow.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I'm all in on her. She is badass, so good. And I mean, I listened to a couple of her songs before I saw her, but she really impressed me live. And then Stabbing Westward, I mean, I've seen them 3 times now, and they're always amazing. It's weird. They've changed the band since the last time I saw them. They did not have a bass player at all. And and the guitar player was different, because they had when I saw them in 2019, they had one of the old members with them, and this guy I'd never seen him before, and he looked, younger than the other guys. So
they just track the bass.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and it was funny. I love Stabbing Westward. I love seeing them live, and Christopher's voice always delivers. One thing he does that it's cool that he has a sense of humor, but sometimes he jokes and messes around during songs, and I'm like, I don't. It just kind of pulls you out of it. Their songs are so kind of almost raw and emotional, and when he does that, it just kind of pulls you out of it,
Interesting.
But he was super cool. He was he would take people's phones and turn it, film the crowd with people's phones and give them back to him. And, he's messing around all night. And at one point he was like, "Hey, do you guys mind if we play a song that we wrote on the tour bus? It's a brand new song. We just wrote it from the last show to this one." And we're like, yeah. And they played one of their biggest hits. So, he's kind of messing around.
Was it packed?
It was actually, yeah, it got real hot and sweaty in there. I'd never been to the Hi-Fi, and it's not a big room, but it was pretty packed. And everybody there was a fan. Everyone was screaming along, and it was pretty awesome. He acted
great.
He acted like he was pretty impressed. He was like, "This is not what I expected from a Sunday night in Indianapolis." So
that means he'll come back.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, every 4 years for you. Let's do it.
Yeah, right. Every 4 years. All right. Well, hopefully we don't have another pandemic keeping them away.
No, it doesn't exist. Jeremy, come on.
Yeah, right. Sorry. Bad word.
Yeah. Watch your mouth. So, and tomorrow night we're going to see Ghost and Amon Amarth down in Indy. So I'm pretty stoked for that. So, and the guy that's going with me was never a big fan, has nenever seen them. So it's going to be quite the ritual will be quite the experience for him.
All right, cool.
So I know.
Interested to see what he thinks of Amon Amarth.
Oh, I bet he'll. Well, that's definitely a different taste. So I'm going to bring a can of surströmming, and we're going to eat that while we watch them perform. So imagine if I broke that out right in the middle of a crowd.
Oh, man.
That fizzy goodness. Whew. All right. Are you ready to be challenged, my friend?
Sure.
It's not really a challenge, but it's fun.
I wasn't expecting this, so yeah, lay it on.
Well, I brought up not too long ago the idea of doing a tier maker on here. And so essentially, for people who don't know, you have a topic. And then you've got different tiers. So one at the top might be, this is solid gold, the GOAT of those things. And then the next one down is this is damn good. And then you got your average, below average, and then my God, stay away kind of thing. And so you rank whatever it is. So I was on my son's show, and we did every Marvel movie, and we ranked all of those. So that was pretty fun. So what I'd like to do with Mr. Mundy is present my screen. Oh, there it is. We're going to share this. Can you see it?
I cannot. No, there it is. Okay.
So, for Mr. Mundy,
SABCD.
So S is your top. This is for Anthrax Records. This is the GOAT. This is the best of the best. Now, there can be more than one. It doesn't have to be just one.
Right there.
A right there is going to be, this is pretty darn good. B is average. You would share. You'd let somebody listen, but you're not over the top. And then, on down. And so we're going to start from beginning to end, excluding XL. It wasn't on here, and because I rushed this at the last minute, I didn't have time to go grab a screenshot and put it in here. But so anyway, we're going to start with Fistful of Metal. Where would you place it in this stream?
Okay, so I'm going to look at this, and from the perspective of trying to turn someone on to my favorite band.
Correct. Yeah.
So Fistful of Metal is where it started.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there are songs on there that have gone on to become absolute classics.
Mm-hmm.
However, I would never point someone to that to try to pull them into the cult of Anthrax.
So you're thinking an A or a B for that one?
No, I would put that way at the bottom.
You're putting this at D?
Yeah.
Wow. Look at you. How about Spreading the Disease?
So Spreading the Disease, I would have to go. So I'm going to have more than one in some of these categories, right? Yeah. So Spreading the Disease, I would go A.
Okay, so this is one of their better ones, but not quite goat material.
Yeah.
Okay. Among the Living?
Among the Living's at the top of the top.
Really? This is your S. Let me ask you this. Are you going to have more than one S?
Possibly.
Yeah, you are. All right. State of Euphoria.
I'd probably put that S as well.
Okay. Persistence of Time.
I'm going to go B. I love that record, but again, I'm trying to think of presenting this to a non-fan.
Well, this is your own ranking. You don't have to worry about necessarily the fans. I mean,
no, I'm saying me pushing this on someone new. That's where I'm going with this.
All right. How about Sound of White Noise?
Hey, I love Bush era Anthrax. It's amazing. A lot of people try to play the John versus Joey game. I think that's total BS. They're two different animals almost. Mm-hmm. And I love John Bush. I'm a huge fan. I love me some Bush Anthrax. And that was, of course, Sound of White Noise was their first one with him. So,
okay. What about Stomp? Where are you going?
Stomp is a record that I really love. A lot of people didn't care for it that much. I'm going to put that probably at C. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're kind of balancing out, which is sort of interesting.
Yeah.
Volume 8.
Volume 8's got some really cool stuff on it, but I think if I'm trying to turn on a new fan, it's not super important. So I'm going to put it on D.
Okay. Wow. Look at us. We've come for you.
We've come for you all is out effing standing. That is a B all the way.
Just a B.
No, I'm sorry. S.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're kind of confusing there. All right. Worship music.
See, these last two are a little tricky. They're both great. I'm just not sure which one I like better. Oof. Ow. Oof. This is hard. Sophie's Choice. Pick your favorite kid. Man. Wow. Worship music, I'm going to go B.
Okay. And then For All Kings?
For All Kings, I would go A.
Now, where would have XL landed on this chart?
Say what?
The last record from, was it 20? Was it called XL? Didn't they have one more?
No.
I thought they had one more record, or was it an EP? Didn't they put something out?
Anthems was all covers. It was an EP.
Okay. I
had
thought
like
there
5
was
covers on it. Mm-mm.
All right. So I would say overall, you're pretty impressed with the band. You gave a lot of S's and A's.
Yeah. I mean, it's my favorite band. So I have their logo tattooed on my leg. Somebody asked me what that was the other day because it's you can't see it too well on here, but it's the pentagram logo with the A in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what is that? I'm like, well, it's just some of that evil devil music stuff.
You know what I saw? XL was the one with all the 40th anniversary stuff.
Yeah.
It came out in 22. Sorry.
Yeah. So that's yeah.
Okay. So stay away from 2 records, but otherwise you are good to go.
Yeah. And like I said, it's not even, I mean, I listen to those, but it's, Fistful of Metal is, you got Neil Turbin singing. That's the only album that he's on. They quickly got rid of him. And there's a couple of songs on there that went on to become, kind of staples with Joey singing. But yeah, it's just, if I'm trying to make somebody an Anthrax fan, that would never be something I would go to. And Volume 8 is, like I said, there's some monster heavy riffs on there, and Bush is great, but of his era, that's not, I mean, you can listen to that later.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that was pretty cool. Did you like that? You like that format?
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, I think those are pretty cool. And there's so many. You just go to tiermaker.com and you can just put in a topic and there will be tons of these. So you don't have to build them. They're all ready for you and you can just plug and, drag and drop.
Right on.
So, yeah, it didn't take us very long. We did I think it was it was like 26 movies plus all the shows.
Is it 26 now?
Man. I think so. Easily. So, all right. Very fun. Now, on to our 3 new songs. I'm going to call them all friends of the show. One is, but I'm going to call them all friends because I think Uncle Al would like us.
Sure. He doesn't seem like a cantankerous old guy at all.
I'm not sure he likes anyone, but I'm pretty sure he would like us. And the new song, it comes from Hopium for the Masses, which comes out next year. And it's a goddamn white trash is the name of the song. It has you didn't need the video to know what was going on, but man, that video was fantastic.
That video, yeah. So nobody does social commentary quite like Al Jorgensen.
I wonder where he falls on this topic.
And so this song, I mean, you look at the title and then you read the lyrics and like, it's not hard to figure out. I mean, he's going after the far right, the alt right, and all that kind of stuff. So, which is pretty par for the course for Ministry for Al. And this song, man, what I like about it is it kind of harkens back to classic like 90s Ministry. It feels like there's a lot more like keyboards and electronics going on than they've had in recent years. You've got the dialogue samples that are very, very heavy in this song. Probably could have laid off of that a little bit, but it works. It works. The riff is fantastic. All the programming and stuff is great. And I'm really happy to see a lot of his live band over the past few years is kind of sticking with him. One of the guys, Monty Pittman, is very cool. One of the guitar players. He's done a lot of stuff. He was a long time touring guitar player for Madonna. He's been in Prong. So yeah, it's cool. Monty Pittman's always good to have around.
It's awesome. My notes were almost identical.
Yeah.
Because it does sound like 90s Ministry.
Yeah.
It's just that great sound. I'd give this song, if I were going to rate it, a 5 out of 5.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
It really hits the sweet spot on like all points. Like you said, he's huge on social commentary. And in this one, I feel like, it's very obvious what he's talking about, but I think he says it in a pretty cool way when he talks about tasting blood and ready for more, indoctrinated. So, facts were ignored,
I was some of the lyrics like uneducated and ready for war. They tasted blood. Now they're ready for more. What was indoctrinated, the facts are ignored, manipulated into civil war. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I mean,
Right on.
that's classic Al.
And I feel like a line like manipulated into civil war goes both ways. You know,
Oh, sure.
I think the people in power, regardless of what party they are, like to keep this little folk arguing amongst ourselves so
Yeah.
they can maintain their power. And it's just a fantastic song. And I could just listen to it over and over because it sounds so good. And he sounds great. I know they're, adjusting his voice, but bring it on because it sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, he normally does do a little bit of processing on the vocals, but I feel like he's doing it less on this song. Like you can hear a lot more of Al, I think.
He almost talks to you a couple of times. It's true. But 5 out of 5 for me. Love it.
Yep.
Next up, Corey Taylor from CMF2, the third single release called Talk Sick. And I'm sure it's a play on toxic.
No, surely not.
I don't know. He's sitting around somewhere and he just watched our show and he's like, oh my God, it is. He's going to start saying it. You watch. He learned it right here first.
When I saw the title, I was like, toxic. What is this? And then I heard him say it and I was like, oh, yeah, right. Got it.
Yeah. This one I thought had some really nice bass work. Usually it's more front heavy with guitar. Kristen Martucci is really good. But this one to me felt like a straight up rock song. Like he could have been a rocker in the 80s, like Eddie Money or something like that. I think it just fits right in that groove of 80s rock.
I feel like it had a little bit of a punk flavor, especially right at the beginning. Less so once it got going, but right at the beginning, it had a little bit of a punk flavor.
I agree 100%. And I kind of like, he's the Great Big Mouth. On one record, he's like, people line up to see the Great Big Mouth shut up and apologize, but this is more about that. Him, he doesn't know what comes out of his mouth. He talks a lot. So I like it a lot. I don't love this song. I think the other two offerings so far were probably a little bit better. So if I were going to rate it, I'd probably say 3.5 out of 5. But, a good entry.
Yeah, it's just kind of a fun rocker. Vocals, it's Corey, so the vocals are great. I really dug the chorus. Like, I've said it before, the man can write a damn hook. So, and there's a pretty cool breakdown at the end that I enjoyed quite a bit. So I'd probably be right there with you. 3.5, 3.75, somewhere around there. Just a fun song.
It is a fun song. And I'm not sure what the record overall is going to sound like. I have a feeling it's going to be way different when the other songs come out. But these have all fit kind of nicely together, I think.
Yeah.
So, all right. And that comes out September 15th, I think. So we'll be hitting that one in about 3 weeks. Jack the Radio has a new one. I think they've been dropping the songs. They go on for a while, and then they pull them. And then I think they're going to probably release them all. I don't know. Are all of them still on Spotify?
You know what? Honestly, I'm not sure. I was listening to this one today and I didn't look for anything else. So
I think I checked before and I didn't see. Yeah. So Walk All Over Me, the single. And then if you go back to the rest, at least on Apple, it's all from Badlands and Creatures.
Huh. Okay.
I guess the singles are down here listed separately. So they're still out. You can still get them. The Swordsman, The World, and Roads Paved in Gold. So hopefully we're going to get that into a full album at some point to purchase.
And here within, I don't know, a couple weeks, anytime really, we should be getting a video for this song.
Yeah, that's right. They have a musician in the band who does video work, so that's quite convenient for the boys.
Yep, and they've dropped a couple of pictures here and there, kind of behind the scenes stuff, that they were shooting something on a rooftop. So
I imagine when I was listening to this, like sitting out under the stars on the hood of a car. That's kind of where this song took me. Yeah,
I'm there with you. I'm not going to hold your hand, but I'll sit there with you.
Son of a biscuit.
But this one has a total from the beginning guitar part on through the whole song. I feel like this has a very, very heavy Tom Petty influence. I mean, it's there. And I actually shot George a message when this came out, and he said spot on. He'd been listening to a lot of Petty, and it was kind of in his head, and this is what came out of that. So pretty cool. You can catch that. I love there's a part right in the middle. I think it's the second verse where it gets kind of quiet, like the main guitar riff kind of drops out, and there's some cool. Kevin's drums are really, kind of subdued, and I think it's a little bit of tom work, a little bit of cymbal work from him. Sounds real good, but he, pulls back, not hitting too hard, and there's some really cool little sounds that are made with the guitars, and then it kicks back into the song, and the ending of this song is so good. Mm-hmm. I love it. It's just, he's just singing, they're playing, and then the music drops.
Yep.
And then he says like the last two words or something. I mean, it's so good. Very masterfully done.
And I will say something else that's masterfully done is the artwork. Of course, we know George does a lot of graphic design and art, but I love the glasses, and then of course there's our Jack.
Well, so he said
very cool.
That is a photograph of the items are a photograph, and then he drew on the glasses and drew the Jack figure there.
Yeah. Very I love cool. it. He is very clever. It just looks neat. So the whole package with Jack the Radio is just next level with all of the stuff they had for the music and the comics and all that. So
one thing too, I really like the lyrics of this song. Like the first two lines are so good. Sending well wishes, but the wells run dry. We all pray for rain.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. He's a great writer. Faux show. I would go 4 out of 5 easily on this one.
Oh yeah. No question. I really, these last two songs that they've put out are so good in different ways. I mean, Roads Paved in Gold is just kind of a real up-tempo kind of rocker, and this one's a little, like says, a little more kind of mid-tempo Tom Petty vibe, and just great execution. Production clear and crisp. Yeah, clear and crisp. Production sounds great. So good.
Yeah, you could also sit around a campfire and roast marshmallows while listening to this.
Sure.
Yeah, you could do that. I give you permission.
Get some decent weather, I might do that.
Oh my God, it was amazing. I went out, laid in the blazing 93-degree sun and listened all day long and twice on Sunday. Let's do this.
I'm going to be miserable tomorrow, and you're probably going to be loving that crap. It's going to be hot as hell out there.
Until Friday. Bring it. So, all right. Well, those were our 3 songs for tonight. And I don't know if we have an album coming up, unless we want to do Hosier.
Oh, yeah, that came out Friday, didn't it?
I've listened to a little bit of it. It's not bad.
Yeah.
So we could do that possibly, but we'll be back with something next week. And hopefully a new challenge. I left it with Mr. Mundy. He hasn't come up with one yet because he's lame. So maybe someday, folks.
Someday.
Or not. Who knows? All right. Well, that is all we have for tonight. But you can find Wanderings and Wool Gathering on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Castbox, and SoundCloud. And you can find some albums, movie, TV, comics reviews at wandeриngsandwoolgathering.com. It is hot off the presses over there right now. The articles are just coming out fast and furious. Okay, there's been 4 since we started again. But hey, we mean it. And our bi-weekly Spider-Man article will return as well.
Oh, nice. So,
yeah, with my friend from Ireland, who is a total spider junkie.
Is he loving Spider-Boy?
I don't know. He's not been happy with Amazing. I can tell you that. So
I was in the shop the other day, and somebody was saying they were getting tired of Marvel trying to shove Spider-Boy down their throat. And I was like, whoa, okay. You don't have to read it.
I was saying they don't buy it. And then they'll get the picture, and then they won't make it anymore. You're not intentionally trying to lose money, but all right. Well, anyway, that is the show for this week. We will see you next Sunday, unless we still can't hear from this Ghost concert tomorrow, but we should do live from there. We got to figure this out. People want us live, I think.
You just go on the Wanderings Facebook and hit go live, don't we?
Oh, yeah, we could do that. Yeah, but that doesn't... oh, never mind. Until we meet again. Bye now.